Every so often, I'll have a user reach out because their external module, like the iRX4 Lite or Twin Lite Pro, or even the ELRS modules, may stop working correctly when plugged into the external module bay of the radio. And what I've noticed is that sometimes these little pins on the back, they get bent out of alignment, and it's kind of hard to see, but they're basically angled up away from they're like tilted up like this away from the board here, and that causes either the module to not sit correctly or to not align with the pins inside of the module bay. What you need to do is open up the module bay by removing the 4 screws here. So I'm just going to use my screwdriver, removing these 4 screws. And then remove the antenna. And you'll need to loosen up the SMA nut so that the 2 halves can come apart. Then disconnect this cable from the inside. The cable may look different from module to module. I usually disconnect it from this back half where the pins are. So I'll pull that cable out. I'll set that half aside. Now with this little board, you have to, it sits usually recessed, clicked in here. Like this. So you have to pull this board up, and here you can see how those pins have become bent up. So what I'm going to do to fix that is with a pair of needle nose pliers, you just kind of take it and bend them back down here so that they're flat. And it's a little difficult to get them exactly flat. You can see probably what needs to be done is unsoldering all of this and pushing that connector up a little bit so that it can sit more flush. But I would probably just cause more damage by doing that, so I just kind of bend it back as best as I can using the needle nose pliers here like this, kind of just prying them down a little bit so that it's a little more flush. And then what I recommend to do is when you reinstall this here, put a little dab of hot glue here to keep this board from shifting around, because that's what causes it to bend these pins here. But in this case, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it back together. So now with those pins bent back to the correct alignment, I'll just put everything back together. So I will take this side of the module, make sure everything is kind of aligned properly here. You want to make sure that the washers for the SMA are on the outside of that case. That. Reconnect the cable here. and then snap the two halves back together. And then next I'll just put all the screws back in, and it should be good to go, and it should slide back in. Never force these modules onto that back bay. If they don't just slide on nicely, then don't force it. Always just pull that module bay off and double check that your pins are aligned correctly and that there's no obstructions in the holes or anything else that may be causing the alignment issues.